Assalamu alaikum. I am Martha Nailah Abdullah, and our dear brother, William Kareem, is the host for Stories of the Lives of the Prophets by Ibn Kathir. Well, we certainly thank Almighty God for another day, as many are not here in their physical form or in this life, this realm. And so our prayers and asking Allah to bless and forgive and grant stations of paradise by Allah's will as we each are on a journey. And so, oh Allah, we humble ourselves to you and you alone, and we ask for your guidance to continue, and that through each of us being humble servants, striving to be the humble servants, ooh, that we maintain the conduct of one who believes in Allah and the last day, and all that is encompassed in what I just said, all that is encompassed in believing in Allah from the point of our coming to understand why we are here, how we are composed physically, mentally, spiritually, and how that is to be used, that meaning the physical, the mental, and the spiritual understanding is to be used. That construct is to be used in serving Allah, being in service to humanity. And so for all of those, all of the names, I can share many names with you of those who have, we use the term, transitioned in this journey called life. And so a dear sister here in Clearwater, Florida, Victoria McGill Abdullah. I had said Mukman yesterday, but it's Victoria McGill Abdullah, transition, and her janaza services will be today. As God willing, look forward to attending. Um, it will be right around 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the her husband, her daughter, she and her husband's their daughter, their oldest child, transitioned. It was either earlier this year or earlier part of last year, mid part of last year, but it was within the year that their daughter Rashida transitioned, and her husband, the father of Rashida, transitioned the year before. I think it was 2023 that the father transitioned. His name was Mukman Abdullah, and the daughter Rashida. Meaning servant of Allah. And so I pray that my war coming through, adaptability of the internet or Wi-Fi here can be pretty shaky, but I'm going to speak as though it is okay. All right, today, stories of the lives of the prophets. Prophet Ibrahim. In Al Quran, Prophet Ibrahim is referenced. So the reference to Ibrahim in the Quran, we will go there. Trials and his role as an imam, a leader for humankind. The key reference include his struggle against idolatry, his willingness to sacrifice his son in a dream, and his role in purifying the Kaaba in Mecca with his son Ishmael or Ismail. The Quran describes him as being given a covenant by Allah, not to be broken by wrongdoers. Faith in trials in Surah 2, ayat 124. The Quran states that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, highly glorified is Allah, tested Ibrahim with various commands, and Ibrahim fulfilled them, leading to his appointment as a leader for the people. Now, it also, where I'm reading from under Google, he is known for questioning the idol worship of his people, asking them, "What are you worshiping?" and declaring himself as an enemy of their gods. Lord G. Purifying the Kaaba. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commissioned Ibrahim or commanded and Ismail to purify the Kaaba for worship. And that's in Surah 2, ayat 125. Then the sacrifice. The Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reveals the dream where Ibrahim saw himself sacrificing his son and his son's willingness to obey the command of Allah. Surah 22, and Surah 2 is Al Baqarah. Then Surah 22 is Al Hajj, ayat 102. The fire. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, highly glorified is Allah, commanded the fire to be a comfort and peace to Ibrahim when he was thrown into it. Surah 21, that's Surah Anbiya, the prophets, ayat 69. Leadership. The Quran mentions Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or Allah revealed that Ibrahim was made an imam as a leader of people, and a covenant was made with his descendants. Made that his descendants, excuse me, made with Allah that Ibrahim's descendants would be led by this legacy, but not the wrongdoers, and the legacy of faith. Faith. Faith in the face of any and all trials, faith with the covenant of Allah, faith as a leader, faith, humble servant as a leader, faith. I was speaking, not reading then. A role model. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reveals that Ibrahim is an excellent example of faith for all people. And there is a specific surah titled Ibrahim, and that's Surah 14. Surah 4, yes, because 13 is Rod, the thunder, the lightning, or the thunder, and 14 is Ibrahim. Studying, studying, not so equipped with it, but just studying through. Uh, okay, and I pray that I'm here today. As a matter of fact, let me verify how I'm coming through by the other. Okay, let's see. Okay, so the stories of the lives of the prophets, as we recounted just then in the Quran, and let me go to one in particular in Quran, as we cited Surah 22, but the Surah Ibrahim. All right, we're going to go to Surah 14 before we read from Ibn Kathir's um, story on the life of Prophet Ibrahim. Okay, we want Surah 14, so we can go there. Let me share my screen here so that we can always see the Arabiya. All right. We're sharing our screen, and today the stories of the lives of the prophets. Prophet Ibrahim, I believe is where William Kareem, you all make for our dear brother who's still taking care of health. And I pray again, I will often say, am I being heard? Okay, Surah Tul, and I want you to see here how this is written in Arabiya. The alif, and this dot here indicates that that's the next letter. Ba, or the B sound. This next letter connected to it is Ra, the R. Then there's the alif. You have the alif in the beginning, the ba, the Ra, alif, and then this ha, the H there. The H is a ha, soft sounding ha, like in happy, not hard. Okay. And then the yeah, the Y sound, and then the meme, the scripter wrote it in that way, but that's an M on the end. And this usually is considered like a pronoun when you're looking at the word for the word's sake. This will be informal force will be a verbalized noun, if I can say it that way, a verbal noun because of the alif in the front. And forgive me any errors, everyone, but the alif is usually form for, meaning there's a cause that something is happening. You don't see it, but and whatever is happening, it is being caused to happen. All right. So the root word here will be bara, as you see, ba, ra, alif, bara. Now, in Arabiya, as I looked it up, bara, and let me share that too. Bara, I'll show you, inshallah, means innocence. Doesn't that connect with Ibrahim, as we've come to know? Innocence. Innocence, and when it connects with idolatry, innocence when it comes to asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala a question, innocence in how Ibrahim, how it has been shared that his relation with his wives, um, and I'm stating both Sarah and Hajar as wives. Their names both denote journey. All right. So Ibrahim, as we look at this as of a type um, a sort of like an attribute would be innocence. So Ibrahim, this innocence then came forth, was caused to come forth through how we relate. We hear the emphasis of Ibrahim being an humble servant of Allah, not following idolaters, uh, going through the process of questioning idolaters, and then questioning, asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala how to bring life back to the dead. So now, going on the process of thinking that Ibrahim, that this bara, then him, now this is not the him like we will have in a pronoun, hamim, hamim. The yeah extends the sound. So I'm not going to declare that this is a pronoun, but that it is the word, but based on the innocence, their innocence is what I'm alluding to. All right. But innocence nonetheless. All right. Suratul Ibrahim. And let's just read the first few ayats. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alif Lam Ra. Kitabun anzalnahu ilayka لتخرج الناس من من الظلمات إلى النور بإذن ربهم إلى صراط إلى إلى صراط العزيز الحميد.
Al-Hamid.
Anyone on wanting to share the English of Surah Ibrahim, first ayat? Okay. Yusuf Ali, Alif Lam Ra. With Allah's name, the merciful benefactor, merciful redeemer. Alif Lam Ra. A book which we have revealed unto you in order that you might lead mankind out of the depths of darkness into light by the leave of their Lord to the way of, and in parenthesis, him, close parenthesis, the exalted in power, worthy of all praise. Praise be to Allah. Now we'll go to here. Is the question bara in Arabiya, and it says bara, innocence, purity, freedom from fault or obligation. A related verb with the alif in front, ibara, as you can see here, to heal, the very written way of Ibrahim. Alif, ba, ra, alif. Ibari, but it's ibara, ibara, to heal, to cure. The term is used in both religious and general contexts. For example, the name al-bara is derived from the root and signifies purity. That's in finance. The term ibara can refer to a rebate or forgiveness of a debt, often seen in Islamic finance as a discount for early payment. And you know the word riba. So they're saying ibara is referring to forgiveness, but I'm not using riba as over interest, uh, uh, an exuberant interest on a financial situation. All right, but let's just stay with ibara. All right, let's go here. That was ibara. I think we went here too. In Arabic, bara means innocence, purity, and freedom from fault. Can also mean disassociation, dissociation, repudiation. Now, think on Ibrahim with the idolatry, dissociation, repudiation, or immunity. And when there's um, the surah that means immunity, Surah 9 has the two names, Tauba, and I think it's Bara. But and this is famously for the name for the opening verses of Surah 9. I hadn't read that, but it's here of the Quran, which contains a declaration of repudiation. In the Quran, the term Bara is the name of the opening chapter of Surah 9, which means rejection or dissociation. This is because the chapter begins with the declaration of repudiation from Allah and Allah's messenger to the polytheists. All right, so let's go now to Ibn Kathir. And this is from the stories of prophets, lives of the prophets. Here we are. Stories of the lives of the prophets. Peace be upon them. And this is by Ibn Kathir, Imam Ibn Kathir. Stories of of the prophets. Starting with, and this is what the brother William has taken us through, Prophet Adam, Prophet Idris, Enoch, Prophet Noah, Prophet Hud, Prophet Salih, and Prophet Ibrahim. Then we go to Ismail, Prophet Ishaq. In Arabic, it is written as Ismail. And I think that the Jewish or Judaic writing, it is Ish. The sheen is used. In Arabic, it's the seen, the S. Is and Ish. Prophet Ishaq, Prophet Yaqub or Jacob, Prophet Lot or Lot, Prophet Shuaib, Prophet Yusuf or Joseph, Prophet Ayub or Job, Prophet Dulkifl, Prophet Yunus or Jonah, Prophet Musa, Moses, and Harun, Aaron. And you know that the as we have studied that when Prophet Musa was being called, I just use that term, called, that Prophet Musa asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to send his brother Aaron. So this is why I'm thinking that Ibn Kathir put them on the same line. Prophet Hizkiel, Ezekiel. Prophet Elias, Elisha. Prophet Shamil, Samuel. Prophet Daoud, David. Prophet Suleiman, Solomon. Prophet Shia, Isaiah. Prophet Aramiah, Jeremiah. Prophet Daniel. Prophet Uzair, Ezra. Prophet Zechariah, or Zechariah. Prophet Yahya, John. Prophet Isa, Jesus. Prophet Muhammad. All right, also was known as Ahmed, shown to be named Ahmed. And that counts up to 29. But as is stated uh, in the history, that there are many, many, many more. So we go here as seeing how uh, Ibn Kathir begins. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. With Allah's name, the merciful benefactor, the merciful redeemer. And he goes through to Prophet Adam, and I think we're on Ibrahim. It says, okay. So we have Adam, and he gives references in the Quran as to, this is Idris, Enoch. Wanting you to go through this with me, the painstaking part of which prophet. So that was number 6 for Ibrahim. Here it is. All right. Prophet Ibrahim. The description of Abraham and his family, some of the people of the book stated that his name was Abraham ibn Tariq, ibn Nahur, ibn Sarah or Sarof, ibn Rahu, ibn Salih, ibn Ahir, ibn Shalih, ibn Arfirshan, ibn Sam, ibn Noah. Now, these are, Ibn is going down through the lines of being the son of or the children of, and one from the other generation to generation. They said that when Tariq was 75 years old, he had Ibrahim, Nahor, and Haran. Haran had a son named Lot that would make Lot be Ibrahim's nephew. They also said that Abraham was the middle child and that Haran died in the lifetime of his father in the land where he was born, the land of Chaldeans or it's pronounced El Chaldean, okay, also known as Babylonia. Now, at that time, some people worshiped idols of stone and wood. Others worshiped the planets, stars, sun, and moon. Still others worshiped their kings and rulers. Let me leave that there for a moment. While All right. All right. Let's see. Coming through yet? All right. Let's see here. All right. Let's see if I'm being heard. Yes. All right.
You are Assalamu alaikum. You are being
Now,
heard.
thank you very, very much. All right. So, Abraham, and reading on the screen here, Abraham was born into an atmosphere, atmo, atmosphere, into a typical family of that ancient time. The head of the family was not even an ordinary idolater, but was one who totally rejected Allah and who used to make the idols with his own hands. A question right here: How does one reject Allah? And the outward expression would be putting our faith, our trust, our belief in something that definitely is not Allah, and Allah cannot be pointed to. So to definitely have something and outline it as I must go and pray to and give a name to it, or I pray and we hold on to something. In my days, Martha Nailah days, it was the rabbit's foot. I don't know how many of you remember that, or if it was even in your custom. But individuals would have a rabbit foot that they carried with them in their pocket or what have you, or they had it on their keychain, or they had it in their car for those when cars, were able to be gotten by different families. But the rabbit foot, the different things are used, but the rabbit foot definitely was a prayerful item that was used, that was held in the hand, and or they would kiss it. And the same thing with the cross that we wore. Ones would kiss the cross and make a prayer. And so those items are being used, and likewise for those of us who use different items, and we feel like we have to have this item. And I'm going to speak to the beads, the thicker beads, that we have to have those beads. We must have it, or we must have that rug, or we must have that. Oh no, We've got to have this in order for my prayer to be heard. Now, I'm not saying anyone else says that, but I can relate to it as that. Like, no, you're not really praying if you don't have that rug. Like, some can use a towel, some can use for the forehead going down on it. That's the respect to that. Even the earth. So the idea of worshiping something other than Allah, we don't realize how serious it becomes with us when we attach things to it, or we attach something to it as a prerequisite in the sense of, and I'm not speaking of washing up, but any items that we have to have present in order for the prayer to be made or maintained or continued. So here in the idolaters says made items with their hand with his own hands. Some traditions claimed that Ibrahim's father died before his birth. Now, some traditions claim that Ibrahim's father died before his birth and he was raised by an uncle whom Abraham called. Other traditions said that his father was alive and was named Azer. Into that family, Ibrahim was born, destined to stand against his own family. The destiny would be that against the entire system of his community. Now imagine a system now. Let's step away and parallel it to a system that we live by today. When the entire system, when a system has been designed to contradict humanity, contradict the acts of humanity, being kind, being conscientious, being giving, those that a system that works against that, no matter who it's working against, but a system that has been designed by someone to work against what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has designed means being humane, being human, uh, in service to humanity. When we work against that, that means we are worshiping something other than Allah. That system is an indicator that the designers of the system is worshiping something other than Allah. And those who take to the system and have been warned or it has been brought out, acknowledged that, hey, the system is impure, it's not right, it is corrupt, and others maintain it, carry that system on, saying we didn't create it, but that's the only life we know, is that we're not to treat others fair or equal. Let's just use that word. We're not to treat the people on the north like we do the people on the south, or vice versa. We're not to treat the people on the east as we do the ones on the west. We're not to treat people who have long hair like we do the people with short hair. Or we're not to treat people and of course the elephant in the room, of different complexion like we do we don't treat the darker like we do the lighter. Whatever system that is compelling us to live by it, and it is totally contrary to Allah's design, then we are worshiping the system and we are thereby worshiping something other than Allah. And so, right here in this particular community that is being shared with us, that the community, the system in this community, Abraham is going to speak out against it. And likewise, parallel in this country, in other countries throughout the globe, in this time, years and years later, the Ibrahim process is still being used, speaking out against idolatry, worshiping a system that does not qualify it to be aligned with Allah's command. All right. In brief, he stood against all kinds of polytheism. There it is. Polytheism is not just triggered or in the quote unquote church or mosque, or and I say mosque only because the mind of the people can be polytheistic and not it. We come to understand ourselves better by attending the mosque and preferably by attending the church, that eventually the message gets through to us. God is one, or in the synagogues that God is one. God had no sons, no daughters, no mother, no father. God is not to be even taken into the parentage process or even into the human process. And likewise with systems, traditions, we go through traditions and we find. Okay, I'm back here.
I was about to say, we're not hearing you. We can't hear you.
Okay, can't hear me yet?
Yes, I can
Yes,
hear
you can
you
hear me now.
now.
Okay. Yes, thank you, love. All right,
Mm-hmm.
continue. Every so often the Wi-Fi will act up. But let me continue on so we can make sure that the message is being understood. All right. Showing my screen here. Let's go to Abraham's childhood. And we will paralleling the life of Abraham as being the life of the Ibrahim effect is in today. Okay. He was endowed with spiritual understanding. From an early age, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, highly glorified is Allah, enlightened Abraham's heart and mind. Think of that. Allah enlightened Abraham's heart, mean his sentiments, his thinking, his desire. So Allah enlightened his desire and his mind, gave him wisdom from childhood. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Almighty stated, and here is this will be from Surah 21, Anbiya 51, and we'll go there because we want to know. And so let's go to the Surah 21:51. So in the stories of the lives of the prophets, as told by Imam Ibn Kathir, and this is Surah 21, Anbiya, prophets, the Anbiya, that Alif, unless, I love to show the title first, so you can see the writing of it. We'll always see Surah, and then Surah Al, the An, Alif is right there with the Hamza above it. Alif, then the Nun, then the Bat, the dot under the dot above is the N, Nun. The dot below is Ba, B. And then the Ya is the double dots at the bottom. Anytime you see the double dots, you'll know that's the Y sounding, extending the E sound, or giving the Ya if it's at the beginning. Um, or Ya in this sense, even is pronounced because it has its own vowel mark. So, and be yeah, yeah, not yeah, and be yeah with the at the end, and be yeah. The word then is nabi. Nabi would be the root word. And this is why we say the prophets. but that nun indicates enlightened, those who were enlightened with Allah's revelation. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. And we go to ayat 51 of Surah Anbiya 21. Okay. 51. And this is from Yusuf Ali's renderings here. All right. In Arabiya, ayat 51, bear with me here. Walakad. Okay, walakad, and verily. That means by the
ولقد
truth. Atayna, we
آتينا
gave. The na is we. Ata, we gave. Ibrahim,
إبراهيم
rushdah, and rushdah
رشده
is rashada. Rashada. All right. Rushdahu, min qablu. Mean is from
من
before,
قبل
and the rushda, it says it's guidance
رشده
before.
قبل
Wakunna,
وكنا
we were, and we were be with
به
him. Alimin,
عالمين.
and the alamat, you see the ain, the lean, ain, the l, lam, and the meme right here, and the ya and the nun. Alimin, and alama is knowing. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is all knowing. And so this written form of the word is coming out to say well knowing. Yusuf Ali said, we bestowed aforetime on Ibrahim his rectitude of conduct. And, excuse me here, and well were we acquainted with him. So all of this, and this is how Yusuf Ali came to deduct Rashada. And let's go to the Omar dictionary. And Rashada is on page. Let's see. Rashada is on page 211 of the Brown Omar dictionary. Okay, 211. And just the first beginning of the word, and it goes over to 212. But Rashada is to follow the right way. And this is why Yusuf Ali said the rectitude of conduct. To follow the right way, be well guided or directed, righteousness, right course, going in the right way, true direction, correct rule of action, straightforwardness. Let's see. Am I continuing to be heard there? Yes. Okay. So correct. Ibrahim Rushdahu, and Rushdahu in that particular form, Rushdahu would be right way, and using discretion. And it says the way of rectitude. So Ibrahim then in with Rashada is would be with the fatah above it, the slanted line, but being that it's with the u, the dama, and it is putting it saying rightly guided, indicating that, but it's putting in the form that he used, he was able to use expression of what is right from wrong. All right. So how we make the decision, we're making a deduction by what we see, and we come to a conclusion. That's making our using our discretion of what's right. So he maintained to be in the guidance in the way that was upright. That he made the best choice. So that 21. I mean, yes, Anbiya, the prophets, and Ayat 51. Going back to the story of the lives of the prophets, as Ibn Kathir references. Let's see. Where was I? One moment here. Mhm. I think I lost my spot here. Let me make sure I'm with the lives of the prophets. Okay. That's not the one. Okay, yes. So and now as Ibn Kathir shared it, he says, indeed, we bestowed aforetime on Ibrahim his, and in parentheses, portion of, close parentheses, guidance, and we were well acquainted with him, in parentheses, as to his belief in the oneness of Allah, etc., close parentheses. And so now you see the deduction of Ibn Kathir as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed in the Quran that from before, it says Qabla, from before as well, used in that. So this wasn't just that Ibrahim had nothing to relate to, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guided Prophet Ibrahim as from those that were guided before. In other words, with the same ability to use uh, the best discretion, best thought, his mind and his heart and his mind, and realize I'm realizing on the heart. Same with Prophet Muhammad, praise and peace be upon him, right? And with others, with on their heart. That means observation, and something just didn't sit right with his heart, on his heart, as to what was going on in the life of the system that people were using to live by. So now back to reading. During his early childhood, Abraham realized that his father made strange statues. One day, he asked him about what it was he made. His father replied that he made statues of gods. Abraham was astonished, and he spontaneously rejected the idea. Being a child, he played with such statues, sitting on their backs as people sit on the backs of donkeys and mules. One day, his father saw him riding the statue of Marduk, and he became furious. He ordered his son not to play with it again. Abraham asked, now you can imagine Ibrahim wanting to know about why his father is getting so upset about it. This is a statue. Okay. What is this statue, father? It has big ears, bigger than ours. His father answered, "It is Marduk, the God of gods, son. These big ears show his deep knowledge." This made Abraham laugh. He was only 7 years old at that time. Abraham's hatred for idols. Years passed and Abraham grew. Since his childhood, his heart, again, heart, had been full of hatred for these idols. He could not understand how a sane person could make a statue and then worship what he had made. He noticed that these idols did not eat, drink, or talk, and they could not even turn themselves right side up if someone turned them upside down. How then could people believe that such statues could harm or benefit them? Abraham's people had a big temple full of idols, in the middle of which was a oh excuse me, yeah, in the middle of which was a niche accommodating the biggest gods. A niche, a deepened arch or something in the wall, a carved out area that sits beyond the wall, the regular wall, and it becomes a niche. Is called a niche. So the biggest one, accommodating the biggest gods, which was of different kinds, qualities, and shapes. So Abraham, who used to go to the temple with his father when he was a child, greatly despised all that wood and stone. What surprised him was the way his people behaved when they entered the temple. They bowed and started to cry, begging and imploring their gods for help, as if the idols could hear or understand these requests. Step away a moment. Can we relate to that in this day? I don't know. And I'm going to say this very slightly in reference to, I don't know if we can say we worship it, but I guess that would be a line of worship if we became so angry to the point that we would kill someone if they broke something in the house. We become so angry that we begin to beat a child, or we our faith in Allah and our fear of not having something will cause us to become so angry. Our not having the faith in Allah over our fear of not having something. So our fear of losing something, does that in, take us near worshiping that thing or that idea even? What do you say? Let's share from this point, because we're right at the hour and I want to have some take some time to discuss it. I'll stop with the reading as we stopped right there. Please, by all means, come on in. Imagine having a fear of something so that, and I'm thinking of myself, I had ceramics, and thank Allah, I mean, I didn't want to lose them, but they were stolen. And I never got them back. When the police got them uh, for to show that the people had taken my things, and they never gave me a report number to come back and collect my things. But anyway, things, child running about in the house, and we say, "Stop running through the house! Stop running through the house!" and then they break something by running. They cause something to fall. They are running, either bumping into it or causing something to and off the shelf. You know how things migrate off the shelf. You keep running, and just the movement of the floor, and something falls to the floor. And say it's a vase, flowers vase, or a ceramic item that you have that we've gone to the store and purchased. And we bring these things back to our home. Are we collecting idols? Think about it. Are we idolizing what we could? Oh, I bought this beautiful couch. Oh, the nerve of them. That child was jumping up and down on the couch with their dirty feet. Now there's an extreme. I'm not taking it to the extreme of having nice, what we call nice things that accommodate us. And you don't want to just let a child just run free. I mean, I have gone to homes though where parents perhaps they were probably beaten, I don't know, furiously by their parents. So they take it to the other extreme. Their children don't break things up, but they jump up and down, and they're just the house is just a big horseplay room. And you come to visit, and you just have to know, you don't know the psyche or the understanding or the reference of the why they let the children, we just say, run rampant, right? And in other situation, some to the other extreme, children have to sit like they're prisoners almost, or pretty much, or like the don't at me, sit there and don't you move. Oh boy. Have we heard ourselves say that? Or don't you mess up that couch? Don't put don't you play with a thing in this house. You only play outside. And then there's the in between. Let's all just have a comfortable time. Oh, you can, if you put a sheet or covering on the couch and to preserve it, and you just sit on and it gets wrinkled all up or what have you, just straighten it back out. Or you throw a towel over yourself here and you're lying on it, or you're sitting up on it, and every once in a while the baby jumps up on you, and the baby runs behind you on the couch and plays peekaboo with you, and little things, feathers, you're playing with feathers, and they get around on the floor, or whatever you're doing. You're just using the items in the house for what it's meant for, is to be home. Home. But do you think that we have gotten, in some instances, we've, our homes are like the temples, the synagogues, the churches, the mosque, and we bring things in it, and those things become our idols. A precious clock, uh, again, some items that are statues that we put in the home, statues, whether it's an image of a human image, or whether it's a image of a bird. We go, what do you call? I had some items that I had gone to this class to learn how to. What's the word for it? Learn They were already clay modeled items. One was a panther. For each of my sons, I did a little poodle with a different position for each one of them. And my three sons. Come on in, Depreetha. Is your hand up? I don't see it, but I see your number down in the corner. Is that Depreetha? Come on in, dear. Assalamu alaikum. Okay. Maybe that was from where you spoke, saying you could hear me before. Okay. But do you find that we do that? We collect idols. We realize that we don't idolize that. But do these things become our idols? Do we worship them? And how do we determine that we're worshiping them? How can we tell? Is it by how Abraham and his father related when Abraham was riding on the back of one of Markuch, and his father got very angry?
Mm-hmm.
You think that's an indication that they worship those? Do you think that's our indicator to get off my couch? Da 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 da.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's talk about it. Our idols that we collect in our temple. Depreetha?
Yeah. Yeah. If you're giving more time to something other than Allah, you have to examine it to the fact you could be worshiping it because you're giving all of that time. And the youngsters today, they don't understand that. You'd be like, but you've been doing that or you've been in that game all day long. Or you spend 3-4 hours in that game. When the last time I saw you pick up the Quran? When the last time I
Mm-hmm.
heard you come in and start a conversation about uh, any anything about Allah? And they think that you're being extreme because you're talking about Allah all the time. And I'm like, well, what else is it to talk about? That is the determination of your life here and in the hereafter. So why wouldn't you want to? You spend 3-4 hours more, like you say, in them games. They have them on the telephone. Well, if we
Mm-hmm.
play it this much, we gonna get this or we gonna get that, and we gonna win this one. So what? It's just too much time being given to anything else other than a conversation concerning Allah. So anytime we
Or
doing it,
going
I
out and
feel,
helping someone. How about taking
yeah.
the time to go and help serve at the pantry or go volunteer somewhere, go to the library, do something for someone, or somebody come in your home and you I don't know. I'm doing this facial expression. Can you see my facial expression? Like, ooh, I hope they don't sit on my couch. Ooh, ooh, they too dirty. Let me, let me just stand right there. Don't sit down. What are we doing? Ooh, we're measuring people by, and I can understand if now somebody comes in with mud on them or something. They don't a conscientious person wouldn't even want to step into your home. I mean, you got white carpet, you got pretty carpet, you don't have any carpet. You wouldn't want them walking in with mud on their shoes. I'm not talking about that. I'm speaking about a person who may come and may need you, and they don't have a place where they can go and take a bath. Me, I would say, come on in, and I mean that's me, not parallel in with anybody else. My mind would be like, come on in, uh, I hope it wouldn't be insulting, but do you want to take a bath? I got some clothes that somebody donated me, and come on, just sit down and have a dinner with me,
Mm-hmm.
rather than say, you stay outside.
Mm-hmm.
What you want? What do you say to that, Priestland?
No, I mean, if it's someone that you know now, because today, in today's time, you just
Mm-hmm.
I mean, try to feel for them, but you just can't invite them into your home. I mean, but maybe you could
Uh-huh.
say something like, maybe you could go. You know what? Maybe you might want to go into McDonald's and wash your face and stuff up or something like that. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about.
But you won't be
Sometimes
demeaning. I guess the word
times are
I'm thinking
different.
about being demeaning. You know how some people can do that
Oh,
facial expression, like, oh, you
yeah,
ain't,
yeah.
mm-mm.
No, you don't want to do that. You got to try to figure it out. You know, if you even yourself just say, hold on 1 minute, let me do something for you. And you go in and get a
Uh
nice
huh.
warm towel and it soap it up real good and come back and say, wash your face up and do your ears and, and here, put on a little bit of this. I got a new shirt in the house. You know, it looks
Uh
like that
huh.
shirt might fit you or something like that. You know, we can do something like that and be kind of nice and
Yes.
kind, but, you
That's
really
what I'm
would
talking
have.
about. That system of
Mhm.
kindness.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're
Yes.
gonna always
That's
try to be kind.
worshiping
You don't
Allah.
want to make it feel like they're already having a situation going on. You can look at it and see that, so you don't want to
Mm-hmm.
damage them any further with unkind words, unkind looks. Ew, I don't want to touch you. I have people,
Mm-hmm.
people. They sometimes people need a hug, but they like, they so
Mm-hmm.
like dirty looking, smelly or something, and you don't want to feel like
Uh-huh.
they trying to talk to you and share with you what they're going through, and you standing up there because you got on this, new dress or you got on a clean dress or something, and you be
Come
like,
on.
I see you, but I don't want you to touch me. You can't be that.
Oh
Can't be that.
yes.
No, no. I've
See,
actually had
and that
situations.
right then and there,
Hmm.
right then and there, the preacher is a determining fact. Fact. I can imagine. Um, it, what we say that we want to treat people right, and when Allah present opportunity,
Hmm.
and how what do we do with it? Sometimes we feel bad because we didn't take advantage of that opportunity, but it comes back to on the heart
Hmm.
and the mind, the sensitivity and the sentiments for human beings, and we wonder how systems became like they are, that people will disparage other people about how they look. So we can see how systems were designed, the dark people against the light people, or the light against the dark. And so we see the rich and the poor, so to speak, rich and poor, uh, and the clean and the unclean.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
We make these determinations. Yes, continue on because with things in our home where like they say they had the temple with the idols in it. I don't think we think
Hmm.
of our home as being a place where we put idols. We
No.
idolize things.
Right. I think you're going in and out, Martha. Yeah, that's what's happening. See, I can't hear you now.
You can't. Okay, let me go this way. All right, better. Uh,
Yes, ma'am.
okay. Now, say a hurricane happens, and how distraught we become over the
Hmm.
things. Would you say we were idolizing those things without knowing it?
You know, I don't know if I would call it idolizing because you do have some things that are just very precious to you.
Uh huh.
Um, like I just I'm gonna use this example because it actually happened to me. I had a box and I had some mementos and pictures and things in there that it was like my dad. It was my dad, my sons when they were little and things of that nature. These things you've saved them over years and so this particular time I was moving and I don't, my mind said take the box with you now. And I said, no, I don't want to take it now because I was thinking that it could get misplaced, so something damaged or something by putting it in with all of the other stuff. So I left it behind. And I was going to come back and get it the next morning. Well, by the time I got by there the next morning, the landlord that I was renting from had already come into the house and set. And I'm just like, I don't know. I'm like, I don't understand that because he should have known that that was a box that needed to be given back to me. But anyway, it set it out on the street, and the
Mm.
garbage people came and picked it up.
Oh,
That,
really? Look at me. Now,
that
the
took me.
priest. You see how I
Huh?
reacted?
Mm-hmm.
You see how I reacted? I went like, "Oh no!" And it wasn't
Yeah,
even mine.
yeah.
But right away,
It took,
I can sense it.
yeah. It took me years to get over that. Years to
See
get over
now,
that.
now that but imagine Ibrahim alayhi salam with his son
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
in the dream about sacrificing his son,
Uh-huh.
and without a shadow of doubt, he was willing.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
and this is not to declare us in a sense we will be tested
Oh yeah.
as
Oh
to
yeah.
how close we are tied to certain things. My whole apartment was destroyed by bleach. I mean, items in the apartment, things that
Mm-hmm.
my husband had sent me from Japan, from Thailand, and somebody came in and poured bleach over everything.
Mm-hmm.
And sure, it hurt. And I said that my sister began to cry
Mm-hmm.
as she looked at everything. My pictures, family pictures. I only have one of my youngest son as a baby, none as my other sons as babies. But again, in our test becomes, I mean, I know that's where our test is.
You going in and out. Can't hear you. We can't hear you.
There's a beauty in all. There's beauty in all. God blesses us to go by. We can identify the level of Ibrahim and his father and those statues, the system of it wasn't just the statues, but the system that was there to say that they all worshipped in coming and bowing to it, and I've only known of some men to say they take their guns and they polish their guns and do different things to it, or their treasures. I won't just say the guns, but their treasures. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and other people with their cars. We say,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, please, you worshiping that car." And I know my husband put rims on the car, his tires, and he
Mm-hmm.
asked me. He told me, "Don't let anybody come up here and mess with my rims." Are you kidding me? I
Yeah.
said, "Well, you better take that car with you, or take those rims
Mm-hmm.
with you, because I'm I can't then. I'm going to be running to the window if I hear anything going on, and see if somebody coming up in the yard. No,
Right.
but that's that's what we do, though. That's what, and we don't realize this is it's close to the idol worshiping process, or maybe it's exactly idol worshiping process.
Right.
Come on in.
Excuse me,
Someone
babe.
is
I'm
wanting
sorry.
to come in. Oh,
What
okay.
was it?
All right. So, but that's it. The parallel to us today. We make
You're gone. We can't hear you. We cannot hear you.
I'm going to speak through this one.
Are you hearing me, Martha?
I can hear you now. Yes, I had to come to
Oh,
my other phone.
oh, okay. Yeah, 'cause your phone is going in and out. You be
Yes,
making a. Yes, ma'am.
yes. I was saying how we may not compare it and say that we are worshiping things
Mhm.
and we're worshiping people and situations, and we don't know it until we are in the situation and tested.
That's right. That's right. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Any last comments?
But you
And
know,
we're going to bid everyone a good day until tonight, 7 p.m. at court. It's all about courtship and marriage with Manira Habil Umar and Bino Mohammed Beya.
mhm. Yes, ma'am.
Any
Yep,
last
you're
words you want
gone.
to share?
Um, I certainly enjoyed the program today, and I'm glad. Is William Kareem all right?
I pray he just let me know yesterday that he was still in the hospital, and
Oh, I didn't
whatever
know he was
he'll let us
hospital.
know his condition, perhaps today.
Oh,
10 a.m. we'll
yes,
be on
ma'am.
with the voices of Muslim women.
Yes, ma'am. I'm gonna try to
And
get on there, but I'm actually taking care of some business with my son, and
okay,
but if I can get on there, I'm gonna be there. Um,
okay, we're on
yeah.
Surah 3, Ayat 51.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Inshallah, I keep that in mind.
All
We
right. I
appreciate you
think as I said,
coming on.
51. It may be 41 to 50. No, I think we're 51 to 60 today, but I'll double check.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I don't know if you're still talking because I'm not hearing you.
No, no, I wasn't. But I'm going to bid everyone have a blessed day. Inshallah, we'll talk tonight. Whatever you do in the middle of the day. But from 10 to 1, if you can join us on a new day for Al Islam Community Radio, executive producer
Mhm.
William Kareem, as Rashida Robinson, Amira Muhammad Shahid, Quran Muhammad, Khalila Ziyad Islam, Depreetha Abdul Hadi, and anyone else who wants to come on, please come on and join us as we read from Quran and Blessed Arabiya and in English renderings from two persons, sometimes three, um, and we give our perception of what we're reading. So join us.
Yes,
That's
yes, ma'am.
we go through the process until about 11:30, 11:40 something, and then the Adhan is played for the northeast because in the southeast the Adhan is not ready to be called for about another half hour.
Mhm. Yes,
That's on
ma'am.
the East Coast side.
Yes, ma'am.
And then we go into conversation with others who are on the line. Everyone is open to discuss, share their perception, understanding of what has been read.
Yes, ma'am. Inshallah.
All right. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Thank you, Depreetha.
Walaikum assalam. You're welcome. Have a great day.
You too, love.